Good morning, everyone. Okay, this looks fine to me. Good morning, everyone. How have you guys been? I hope visible hai, clear hai. I am audible right now. Give me a thumbs up quickly, everyone, if you think it's working fine now. Yes, looks good, looks good. So, yeah, I've seen you guys after so many days. Something went wrong, probably with the technicalities, and it got stuck. I'm so sorry for that. But now that it is fine, we are back with our daily Hindu editorial discussion with Alpa Sharma on India's largest online education platform. That is only and only Gradeup. For everybody asking me about my health, I am doing much better. And the only issue right now I have is a little itchy throat, but that should not stop us because examination में बहुत time है नहीं हमारे पास, बहुत सारी पढ़ाई करनी है. क्लैट कंसोर्टियम ने डिले कर दिया क्लैट का एग्जामिनेशन, हमारे लिए बून है. वी हैव टाइम, वी हैव एम्पल ऑफ टाइम. जो हमने जो मिस आउट किया पिछले 10 दिनों में क्योंकि हमारी क्लासेस नहीं हो पाई बिकॉज ऑफ ऑब्वियस रीजंस, वो हम करेंगे अब रोज क्लासेस में आके. आप लोगों को थोड़े से मेरे कफ के साथ में you'll have to bear with me. That is one request that I will certainly do. ठीक है. So आज today is 24th of May, but I am going to, जैसे usually I do, I take newspaper that had come one day before the discussion is happening. But since yesterday was Sunday, Sundays को newspapers नहीं editorial नहीं आता, तो हमने क्या किया है, we have taken editorial from Saturday's newspaper. A very important topic is going to be discussed today. Stick with me to the end of the class. बहुत important topic करेंगे. Revision of course नहीं हो पाएगा आज की क्लास में, but जो लोग मेरे साथ नए आए हैं, एक बार जल्दी से आप लोगों को बता देती हूँ हम करते क्या हैं. आज से 10 दिन पहले से हम क्या करते आए थे. So my name is Alpa Sharma and I've been teaching English and critical reasoning for a lot of competitive examinations including CLAT for over 10 years. What we every day do is we usually start with a revision of one word substitution, but this is not going to happen today because these classes were stalled for a good number of 10 days because I wasn't well. But अब वो एपिसोड ओवर हो गया है, अब रोज पढ़ाई करेंगे, बहुत जम के पढ़ाई करेंगे. तो रिवीजन आज नहीं होगा लेकिन एक कंप्लीट आर्टिकल डिस्कशन होगा व्हाट्सएप पे. बहुत इजी टॉपिक है. अ लॉट ऑफ यू नो अबाउट दिस. आप लोगों को समझ में आ गया होगा कि मैं ये वाला टॉपिक क्यों लेके आई हूँ. ग्रेजुअली धीरे धीरे पेस इंक्रीज करेंगे. अगर आज की क्लास मेरा थ्रोट मेरे साथ देता है तो कल 2 आर्टिकल्स का डिस्कशन करेंगे. फेयर इनफ. ठीक है. So today one article only, a small article, but tomorrow we're going to take 2 important articles जो आज आए हैं. चलिए आगे. यस एब्सोल्युटली आशीष, करेक्ट, बिल्कुल वही डिस्कस करने वाले हैं. इसमें से वोकैबुलरी डिस्कस करेंगे और क्लास के एंड में टोन इसका बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. व्हाई हैव आई टेकन दिस आर्टिकल ऑन व्हाट्सएप? ऑल द व्हाट्सएप के बारे में ना ऑल ऑफ यू गाइज नो बेटर देन आई डू, बट देयर इज अ रीजन व्हाई आई हैव टेकन दिस आर्टिकल. द रीजन इज दैट the tone here is a little tricky. We need to know what is the author's point of view here. So we are going to discuss the tone by the end of the class and we'll take a very nice caricature. Non Modi caricature लेके आई हूँ आज, तो caricature भी discuss करेंगे. ठीक है. Yes, and for everybody else मैं ये चीज address करना चाहती थी. Thank you so much for sending so many warm wishes, good wishes. It's only and only because of your wishes that I've sailed through it. It was tough. It was very difficult. The journey was very tiring. बहुत excruciating pain होता था. But अब वो ओवर हो चुका है तो बहुत सारी पढ़ाई करने का टाइम आ गया है. Let's start with a very positive quote of the day. When you feel like stopping, think about why did you even start at the first place. आपको बहुत बार बीच में ऐसा लगेगा कि मैम मुझसे पढ़ाई नहीं हो रही है, दिस इज टू मच फॉर मी, दिस इज बर्डनसम, मेरे बोर्ड्स के एग्जामिनेशन है, कैन आई बी एबल टू क्लियर क्लैट अलोंग विद दैट, विल आई बी एबल टू क्लियर एलेट अलोंग विद दैट और एनी अदर एग्जामिनेशन दैट यू आर टारगेटिंग. If these doubts, self-doubts come to your mind, just remember, आपने at the first place क्यों start किया था? आपने कुछ सोचा होगा. You must have thought through it. You must have planned something. Just remember that agenda. Why had you started at the first place? when I wanted to get back to teaching after my COVID, I liked resting. Who doesn't like resting? But I needed to remind myself, why did I start this at the first place? Because as much as it is important for you, it is important for me as well that you guys make sure that CLAT happens. तो कहीं भी सेल्फ डाउट का अब 1% चांस नहीं होना चाहिए. टाइम बहुत कम है हमारे पास, बहुत सारी पढ़ाई करने का नीड है. So if there is a self-doubt, just remember, why did you even start at the first place? Remind yourself that. That is very, very important to bring you back to track. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. तो अगर आप if you want your mock scores to be analyzed and mock test to be analyzed, we have a program for you. Please speak to our counselors on the number that's given at the bottom of the screen. Apart from that, we have a booster crash course batch 4 starting. I'm also going to be a part of this batch. Please speak to our counselors on the number that's given below. If you want to boost your score in current affairs and legal events, we have a batch 2 starting. The numbers of our counselors are given at the bottom of the screen. Jaldi se ab. Let's start with our vocabulary from the article that we're going to discuss today. The first vocabulary is fitful. Fitful is an active or occurring spasmodically or intermittently. Spasmodic क्या होता है? जैसे हम कहते हैं spasm एक pain के साथ use होता है. Spasm is a word that is used with a pain. So for example, suddenly आपको stomach में एक suddenly absurd सा pain start हो जाता है, and then it subsides after some time. That is spasm. या फिर स्पॉरेडिकली इंटरमिटेंटली रुक रुक के जो चीज आती है पेनफुल होती है एंड देन इट सबसाइड्स इज स्पैस्मोडिक और इंटरमिटेंटली नॉट रेगुलर और नॉट स्टेडी इज फिटफुल सो अ फ्यू आवर्स ऑफ फिटफुल स्लीप बहुत कम थे लिमिटेड आवर्स थे यू गॉट स्लीप बट दैट वाज इंटरमिटेंट इट वाज डिस्टर्ब्ड it was spasmodical it was intermittent it was not steady. Okay, so I have taught you 2 more words with the word fitful. Okay, next word is legitimate. I am sure all of you know exactly what is legitimate. Legitimate can be linked to the word law. Anything that is abided by the law, that is permissible by the law, that is legal is obstruse is hidden. गायत्री, obstruse का मतलब होता है जो छुपा हुआ होता है, जो hidden होता है. ठीक है? Okay, so obstruse is hidden. Now, next word was legitimate. Legitimate means something that is legal. We say legitimate child. A child born out of a marriage that has happened. और अब तो हमारे केस में कुछ हमारे कंट्री में कुछ केसेस में विदाउट इवन वेडलॉक अगर अ चाइल्ड इफ चाइल्ड इज बॉर्न उसको लेजिटिमेट राइट्स दिए जा सकते हैं अंडर सम सर्टेन स्पेसिफिकेशंस. सो लेजिटिमेट इज लीगल, कंफर्मिंग टू द लॉ और टू द रूल्स, जो लॉ परमिट करता है, जो लॉ अलाउ करता है. बैकलैश इज बहुत सारा हेट्रेड या बहुत सारा क्रिटिसिज्म, a strong negative reaction by a large number of people, especially to a social and political development. Last time when I had taught you, we had been discussing a lot about the conflict between Palestinians and Israelis. I hope you remember that conflict we were discussing. A lot of Israelis face backlash from a lot of other foreign countries. On the contrary, a lot of people, Palestinians from the Gaza Strip were also facing backlash because they were also considered at some point as terrorists. सबके अलग-अलग point of view है, मेरा point of view नहीं. Just remember, backlash is some sort of criticism that is received publicly by a group of people. ठीक है? So that is backlash. A public backlash against racism. Public backlash received by Israelis और Palestinians. सबके अलग अलग पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू दोनों तरीके से बैकलैश आ सकता है. ट्रिगर, एक ट्रिगर होता है गन. गन को जो आप होल्ड करते हैं नीचे से जो आप प्रेस करते हैं ट्रिगर, दैट इज वन ट्रिगर. देन देयर इज अनदर ट्रिगर. जब भी मैं गन का ट्रिगर प्रेस करती हूँ होता क्या है, द बुलेट मूव्स आउट ऑफ इट. दैट इज एग्जैक्टली व्हाट ट्रिगर इज इन कंसेप्चुअल इन सेरेब्रल टर्म्स. ट्रिगर इज कोई भी चीज को एक सडन स्टार्ट देना, टू गिव इट अ हेड स्टार्ट, to cause something to function or operate. Burglars fled empty-handed after triggering the alarm. Alarm में उन्होंने कोई गन नहीं थी. They had accidentally started it off. Accidentally turned the alarm on. तो जैसे ही वो start हुआ is called trigger. So I can say this class should trigger working very, very hard in your, instill this in your minds. Okay. So the purpose of this class is to trigger the habit of reading and understanding every day's Hindu editorial. Exodus, बहुत common word है. We had discussed this word in my previous couple of classes. Very, very important word. Exodus hota hai where a mass of people, a big, huge group of people, they start leaving a place for some reason or the other is exodus. अगर बहुत सारे constant गाजा पट्टी पे, गाजा स्ट्रिप पे अटैक्स होने लग जाते हैं, this might cause exodus of people. They will be moving out in masses, in numbers from a place. The opposite of exodus, can you tell me? What did we do? Okay, Gayatri, yes, I will take this. Noted. I will take this article probably tomorrow or day after tomorrow, okay? Now quickly tell me the opposite of exodus. When a large number of people leave, it is exodus. But when a large number of people arrive, what do you call it? What is it? What do you call it when a large number of people arrive? No one? मुझे भी आप लोगों की बहुत याद आई सिद्धार्थ. Thank you so much. I miss teaching. I miss teaching. Influx, absolutely, very good. The answer has to be influx. जिन लोगों को नहीं पता मैं लिख देती हूँ. बहुत सारे लोग जब अराइव करते हैं उसको बोलते हैं influx. Okay, I hope आपने इसका स्क्रीनशॉट ले लिया है. Let's go to the next slide. Affidavit. Affidavit, I'm sure आप लोगों को पता होगा, बहुत commonly used word है. Even if you're a commerce student or a law student, you must have heard the word. A written statement confirmed by oath or affirmation for use as an evidence in the court. एक ऐसा statement which the court agrees as a lawful, meaningful agreement piece of paper that has been confirmed by an oath or a signature is an affidavit. A former employee swore an affidavit relating to his claim for unfair dismissal. उसने ये swore किया, ये swear in किया एक affidavit में that was relating to his unfair dismissal from the authorities that he had. Leverage, एक होता है lever that you must have, liver और pulley आपने ये physics में पढ़ा होगा in your school, right? Apart from that, that is a different lever. उस lever का काम क्या होता है? आपको किसी न किसी तरीके से आपके functioning में help करता है that lever. That is exactly how leverage is made from lever. Leverage is to make something work in an effective manner, to help something function in a better way, used to maximize the advantage. Please use these classes as a leverage to improve your vocabulary. इसका purpose है आपके vocabulary improve हो. So leverage is anything that is an aid, that is a help. All right. So Utkarsh, exodus in place is the cause of influx in other. Yes, it could be exactly Utkarsh, correct. कहीं से exodus हो रहा है, it may be actually the same reason for an influx happening in some other place. Absolutely correct. All right, चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Next one is vis-a-vis. Vis-a-vis का मतलब होता है किसी भी चीज के relationship में. So example देखिए, many agencies now have a unit to deal with women's needs vis-a-vis employment. बहुत सारे ऐसे NGOs हैं, a lot of NGOs have been working vis-a-vis improvement of the employment of women. To uplift women, a lot of NGOs have been working vis-a-vis their improvement. Remember, this is not vis-a-vis, this is vis-a-vis. Okay, just remember how to pronounce it correctly. Fitful is, oh, fitful we have done, sorry, I've just repeated the word. Last one is impending. Impending is that is something that is about to happen, जो होने वाला है. The impending disturbance between Israel and Palestinians is impending. It is about to happen. There is a lot of disturbance जो हो रहा है या होने वाला है is impending. I hope you have taken a screenshot of this as well. Okay, very good. अच्छा, so guys, देखो थोड़ी बीमारी से उठ के आई हूँ, मुझे गुरु दक्षिणा चाहिए. लाइक कर दो जल्दी से सेशन if you still haven't liked it, and make sure I have 91 people right now live. Make sure you share this session as much as you can. Tomorrow I want 150 live people. The more the merrier, the better discussion happens. Okay, that's my Guru Dakshina for coming with this sore throat to you, your class. Okay. So now give me stick with me for 5 minutes. We're going to discuss this article in detail. Just remember, towards the end of the class, you will have to tell me the tone and the summary of the passage. Very, very important. Now, the passage says a fitful approach on WhatsApp privacy policy and need for data protection laws. WhatsApp की एक privacy policy थी, which WhatsApp has changed. Just 6 months back, they had changed their privacy policy, and then these policies were a little confusing. What was the confusion here? We're going to discuss that. India must have data protection laws in place before acting against WhatsApp. When WhatsApp changed its policy, what did he say? WhatsApp said that if you agree to my policy, if you agree to WhatsApp's policy in India, WhatsApp has all the right to use information about your location and other information and phone numbers that are there stored in your WhatsApp, and WhatsApp can share this information with Facebook. So this is what WhatsApp had said, that if you agree to their policy, they can use these information. But इसका बहुत backlash आया, बहुत सारा criticism आया India में. But the author says, why this criticism? The author is not very happy with the criticism. Why not? Because the author says, where is the data protection law in our country? This whole data protection law is missing in our country. If there is no law, how can you even criticize WhatsApp for any kind of changes they make? Let's understand the passage. The center's recent notion to messaging service provider WhatsApp to withdraw its updated privacy policy. जो भी updated privacy policy लेके आया था WhatsApp, center ने क्या किया? उनको बोला हटा दो इसको, remove this new policy. But the author says this is an avoidable intervention. Center should not do this. Center could have avoided this into what is a legitimate business decision. The author here thinks WhatsApp's decision in altering their privacy policy is a very, very legitimate decision, is a legal decision, and center should not get into it. Why? Let's see. WhatsApp earlier this year updated its privacy policy, according to which users would no longer be able to stop the app from sharing data such as location and numbers. WhatsApp can share, if you agree to their policy, they can share your data from WhatsApp, including your location and phone numbers, with its parent Facebook, unless and until you permanently delete your account. Then they of course cannot use it. But if you've not deleted your account permanently, like most of us haven't, WhatsApp can still share this information with Facebook. WhatsApp initially proposed a February 8 deadline कि February 8 तक आप या तो कर लो या आपका अकाउंट सस्पेंड कर दिया जाएगा. देखो ध्यान से सुनना. WhatsApp said either you accept my policy or we will probably delete your account or you delete your account on your own. But an intense backlash against this decision, triggering an exodus of its users to rival platforms. जैसे ही ये new policy आई, a lot of users started moving from WhatsApp to other competitors. A lot of exodus happened. Competitors like Signal and Telegram and others. It forced WhatsApp to push the update to May 15. जो February 8 का deadline था. Because a lot of people were moving to their competitors, WhatsApp extended the date to May 15. Eventually, it decided not to enforce this as well, preferring to, as a spokesperson told the newspaper. Eventually, after some time, after May 15, they decided कि अभी हम ये policy नहीं लेके आएंगे. क्या बोला spokesperson ने? Follow up with reminders to people over the next several weeks. हम reminder देते रहेंगे लोगों को, हम follow up करते रहेंगे लोगों के साथ, so that people abide to what our demands are. हम इसको बहुत strict नहीं बनाएंगे. WhatsApp has over 2 billion users in the world, about 500 million of whom are in India. Imagine, out of 2 billion users in the whole world, 500 million are in India. और इंडिया में जब WhatsApp की पॉलिसी लेके आता है तो सेंटर इंटरवीन करता है, and the author says this intervention is wrong. Why is this intervention wrong? My question has still not been answered. We'll see in the passage why the author thinks this intervention is wrong. Next paragraph. Its privacy updates are designed to make the business interactions that take place on its platform easier while also personalizing ads on Facebook. जो भी interface बना है WhatsApp का, it is made in a certain manner that it will help personalize your ads on Facebook. Of course, Facebook is the owner of WhatsApp. Now here, whatever ads you see on Facebook will be somewhere or the other linked to your WhatsApps. You understand how it is happening? It's a marketing chain. Whatever you do on WhatsApp will be reflected on your Facebook through ads that you might want to see. This is, I mean, it's a very simple business model. That's how WhatsApp earns. This is how it will have to make its money. इसी तरीके से पैसे बनाते हैं वो लोग. But in its affidavit in Delhi High Court, WhatsApp has reportedly said that it is not forcing users to accept updated privacy policy. वो ये कह रहा है कि मैंने WhatsApp says we have modified our privacy policy, but we are not forcing users to either accept or leave. They have an option to delete their accounts. कह रहा आप एक्सेप्ट कर लो और एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते हो तो आप छोड़ दो. ये जरूरी नहीं है कि अगर आपको WhatsApp में रहना है तो आप इस के साथ आप रहो. You can probably leave WhatsApp and go to one of our competitors as well, right? Yes, Shlok, what is your doubt, my child? What is your doubt? चलिए जब तक श्लोक का डाउट आता आगे देखते हैं. And if WhatsApp is ready to take the risk of users abandoning it, why should the government intervene in the process? Very, very important line. ध्यान से पढ़ना. It says when WhatsApp is ready that the users may leave their platform. Why does the government need to worry about that? WhatsApp is a business model. WhatsApp is making money out of it. It is asking you to sign certain updated privacy policy. It is saying either you accept the policy or you probably leave WhatsApp. When WhatsApp is ready to take the risk of people leaving their platform, why is the center even worried about that? Because it's a business entity and business model. The center should not be worried about people leaving WhatsApp, right? Next, the Ministry of Electronics and IT in MeTi has sought a response from WhatsApp within 7 days. 7 days में response मांगा है, but कोई use नहीं है उस response का because it's a business entity and the government should not intervene into it. In doing so, the MeTi has made a charge that WhatsApp has, अब देखो MeTi का charge क्या है? That WhatsApp has discriminated against its Indian users. Very important paragraph guys, इसी पे आपका tone dependent होगा. देखो क्या? It says, मीठी ने ये बोला है कि WhatsApp ने इंडियन यूजर्स के साथ डिस्क्रिमिनेशन किया है. क्या डिस्क्रिमिनेशन है? Its letter to WhatsApp reportedly states that given that Indians depend on it to communicate, हमारा आज का maximum conversation through WhatsApp होता है. It is not just problematic but also irresponsible for WhatsApp to leverage this position to impose unfair terms and conditions to Indian users, particularly those that discriminate Indian users vis-a-vis यूजर्स इन यूरोप. अब वो कह रहा है कि व्हाट्सएप का जो ये पॉलिसी है ये इंडिया के लिए थोड़ा बायस्ड है क्योंकि यूरोप में ऐसा है नहीं. यूरोपियंस का अगर आप कंपेयर करो विज़-अ-वी यूरोप में ये पॉलिसी ऐसी नहीं है जितनी रिजिड यहाँ है कि या तो रहो एक्सेप्ट करो नहीं तो डिलीट कर दो अपना अकाउंट, वी डोंट केयर. दिस इज नॉट द केस इन यूरोप. फर्स्ट important guys, I've been repetitively telling you when there are first, second, thirds in a paragraph, they become very, very important. You will have to pay attention to these points because the author is focusing on certain things. Okay, so pay attention to what it is saying. Okay, why WhatsApp introduced two different privacy policies in Europe and Asia? Oh, yes. So Rashmikant, I'm going to answer your question. Last paragraph में इस question का answer है कि ऐसा क्यों किया कि different policies लेके आए. I will answer your question. Yes, Shlok, I am answering your question. There is, okay, now guys, there are a couple of questions coming up कि इंडिया में ये पॉलिसी डिफरेंट क्यों थी यूरोपियंस के साथ में. I will answer this question in the last paragraph. The author clearly mentions what is the difference in the policy and why does the difference happen. Pay attention to the last line. First, it can be argued that there are enough alternative to WhatsApp in the market. पहला आपको पता है कि WhatsApp के बहुत सारे alternative है, including Telegram as well. But more importantly, it has to be pointed out that the Europe's citizens are protected. Remember, read this line carefully. Europe's citizens are protected by strong data laws that go by the name of General Data Protection Regulation Act, which are missing in India. And that is the major reason why policies in Europe are different to the policies in India. There are no formal laws, regulatory acts which can regulate WhatsApp and such chatting and messaging groups. There are no regulatory policies in India, but the GDPR exists in Europe, and that is why the policy is different in India and in Europe. Where is the Indian equivalent of such laws? We don't have such laws. When will they be implemented? We don't know. If there are no laws, how can the center intervene into WhatsApp and tell them that no, you can't bring this kind of a policy? Europe can, because Europe, जब भी कोई business model कोई country enter करता है, it has to abide by the rules and regulations of the country. GDPR exists in Europe, so WhatsApp has to abide by GDPR. But where are the rules in our country? There are no rules. These are certain questions that the government should answer first and then point out problems in WhatsApp's privacy policy. These questions become even more pertinent. Very pertinent comes up important. They become very important because WhatsApp has reportedly said in its affidavit that it is being singled out and that its policy is not different from those of private apps such as Google, Big Basket, Koo. So basically WhatsApp is saying हमारी जो privacy policy है, it is similar to other e-commerce apps like Google or Big Basket or Koo. But only and only WhatsApp is targeted here. So WhatsApp is giving this counter because their policy seems to be similar to Google, Big Basket and Koo, as well as public apps such as Arogya Setu, Bheem, IRCTC and others. ये जो public apps है जो government own करती है, इनकी policy भी it is similar to WhatsApp's privacy policy only. When they are so similar, why is only WhatsApp targeted? A fitful approach to issues concerning the user may do more harm to India's approach to data protection and freedom than anything else. The author says this kind of intervention that the state is doing, that the government is doing, will do more harm than doing any good to these apps because their privacy policy is similar to all the private and the government apps as well. So the author is suggesting center to come up with strong data protection policy. Yes, Shelly, that is one of the suggestions certainly happening. तो अब आप मुझे जल्दी से tone of the author बताओगे. I hope आप लोगों को समझ में आ गया है. As I always said, the last paragraph, if there is a conclusion in the last paragraph, the paragraph becomes very extremely important because you have questions and tone based on that. This last paragraph will certainly help us decide the tone. What do you think is the tone of the author here? Tell me. Argumentative, suggestive, okay, criticized. Pun nahi hai bachche. No padna. I don't think this is pun because pun में ना humor वाला मजाक होता है. यहाँ humor वाला मजाक नहीं है. Critical है certainly. कभी निकालना. Absolutely critical, absolutely argumentative, absolutely suggestive. These three tones I can buy. Critical, argumentative, suggestive. Lampooning, correct. Absolutely. Critical, suggestive, argumentative, factual, Ashish, only in the first paragraph. But that is not the tone. The whole passage, full of criticism. Absolutely, Gayatri. It is full of criticism. Yes, Priyanshi, I have 2 videos uploaded in the same. Priyanshi, सबसे पहले आप ये channel subscribe कर लो बच्चे. I have 2 videos uploaded on how to identify the tone of the author. Please watch them. All right. And now in the comment section आप लोग मुझे इसका summary बताओगे, right? In the comment section, the summary of the passage. Okay, jaldi se. Let's move ahead. Let's see our caricature of the day. But before that, if you're targeting BHU, BLAT, Jamia LLB, we have another batch starting. This is our counselor's number. Please speak to our counselors on this number. And if you're targeting CLAT 23, we have a foundation module started, which has already started. You can enroll yourself for this batch. I'm going to be a part of this batch too. CLAT 22 अगर आप target कर रहे हो, we have batch 4 starting. You can enroll yourself for this batch as well. चलो आप मुझे देख के बताओ caricature में क्या समझ में आ रहा है आप लोगों को. What do you understand here in this caricature? Tell me. What do you understand here? प्रियांशी, आप प्लीज ग्रेडअप क्लैट प्रिपरेशन वाले चैनल में अल्पा शर्मा सर्च करो. यू विल फाइंड ऑल माय वीडियोस. अल्पा शर्मा टोन ऑफ द ऑथर ऐसे सर्च करो. यू विल आल्सो फाइंड माय वीडियो देयर. Sluggish is lazy, Vijay. Sluggish का मतलब lazy होता है. Very good, Gayatri. That's the whole purpose of it. Vaccination out of reach of poor, of rich, of villagers, of urban, रूरल अर्बन डिवाइड इन वैक्सीनेशन. बेटा डिवाइड तो है ही, बट दोनों के रीच के बाहर है. आप लोगों को पता, आई हैड बीन ट्राइंग टू गेट अ वैक्सीनेशन स्लॉट फॉर ओवर 20 डेज. मुझे वैक्सीनेशन तो नहीं मिला, मुझे कोविड मिल गया. सो नीदर रूरल नॉर अर्बन इज एबल टू गेट वैक्सीनेशन. द स्लॉट्स आर सो फ्यू. It is just up somewhere in the air. It is out of our reach. So the vaccination is for no one for now. हाँ, डिवाइड तो वैक्सीनेशन में है. ऑफ कोर्स अर्बन को ज्यादा प्रायोरिटी दिया जा रहा है, बट देन इवन द अर्बन इज अनेबल टू गेट देयर हैंड्स ऑन इट. बट नॉनदलेस आप लोग प्लीज whenever your turn comes, please take the vaccination. It is very very necessary, guys. I will tell you something. So मेरे फैमिली में सबसे पहले मेरी मॉम को कोल्ड हुआ, तो मुझे लगा सिर्फ कोल्ड है. कोल्ड तो इज नॉट अ वेरी कॉमन सिम्टम ऑफ कोविड. She recovered in 2 days. Then my father had cold. My father recovered in 2 days. And then all of us, my child, my 3-year-old child was also positive, by the way. So my child and everybody else, my sister, हम सब positive हो गए. हमारे parents 2 दिन में recover हो गए. क्यों? Because they were vaccinated twice. Remember, please, आपके पेरेंट्स अगर नहीं लगवा रहे हैं अभी भी वैक्सीनेशन, ask them, force them. वो 2-2 दिन में, 3-3 दिन में ठीक होकर रिकवर हुए हैं. I took 10 days in recovering. Okay? So please force your parents, your grandparents to go and get the vaccination. I haven't seen anyone recovering so quickly as my parents because they had been vaccinated twice. It is very, very important. Okay? तो vaccination लगवाओ. मैं कैसे रिकवर हुई भी किसी और क्लास में बताऊंगी. आज इतना ही क्लास में करेंगे. अब tomorrow I'm going to see you with 2 articles. All right, I will try to pick up very important articles now that I think my throat is helping all of us. I hope you like the class. Session like कर लेना, नहीं किया होता अभी तक. और आपको मैं कल क्लास में मिलूंगी at 10 o'clock. ठीक है, not 10:30, 10 o'clock because there was some technical glitch today, but tomorrow there shouldn't be any. एंड एक और आपको आज प्रॉमिस करती हूँ, एक मेरा वोकैबुलरी का वीडियो भी आज आ जाना चाहिए, अपलोड हो जाना चाहिए, of etymology, root words and prefixes. So make sure you watch that video, you answer, and apart from that, I will be doing a Menti quiz this week on critical reasoning. So be preparing for that. The Menti quiz is going to come up soon. Thank you so much, and stay safe and work very, very hard. I'll see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Bye, everyone.